As the Johnston Gang's criminal enterprise grew, so did police interest, as they've been watching the gang for quite some time. Gang member Ansel Ham murdered two Kennett Square police officers. Officer Richard Posey and William Davis were shot in the back beside their patrol car in front of the police barracks. While police had been watching the gang, with the murder of their fellow officers, the hunt was now personal. It would take almost a decade to bring the Johnston Gang to justice. The Johnston Gang broke into the Media Heights Country Club in Lancaster. They broke into the pro shop. Using dynamite, they blew open the safe and stole $15,000, along with golf equipment and apparel. The Johnston Gang was at an all-time high, and they wanted everyone in the town to know it, especially the police. They were often seen driving around town in cars they had stolen, and to add insult to injury, were also wearing the apparel they had stolen from the pro shop. Bruce Sr. was on trial for the theft of a tractor. Janet and Frank Gazzaro were convicted of bribing a juror. For this, the Johnston Gang gave them $83,000 in stolen Oriental rugs, jewelry, and furs. Janet later testified that Bruce Sr. gave her 2 or 3 garden tractors. She kept 1 or 2 for herself and gave 1 to the juror. The Johnston brothers were acquitted. It was around this time that Bruce Sr. recruited his son and stepson, taking full advantage of the fact that they both desired a father figure. Bruce Jr. and Jimmy Johnston brought their friends into the fold. They became known as the Kitty Gang. The Kitty Gang included Bruce Johnston Jr., Jimmy Johnston, Dwayne Lincoln, Wayne Sampson, and James Sampson. The brothers broke into Longwood Gardens on the DuPont estate. They stole $50,000. This would be the gang's last job. Things were changing for the Johnston Gang. The police were closing in. Bruce Sr. trusted no one but his brothers. Soon, the Johnston Gang's world, once seemingly untouchable, would implode, resulting in a rape, 4 murders, life sentences, and the ruins of a relationship 2 boys wanted to have with their father. Bruce Sr. became the target of a Delaware State police investigation into a car theft ring. Police used gang member Gary Wayne Crouch as an informant. Crouch disappeared later that summer. The police decided to hit Bruce Sr. where he was the most vulnerable, the Kitty Gang. Cossart Road, Chadsford, PA. Home of the DuPont Mansion. Legend states trees actually grow away from this house because of the evil that went on there. Stories of Satanism, KKK meetings, and incestuous relationships that bore children that had to be destroyed all abound from this house. The Cossart Road holds one more secret. This road is where 3 members of the Kitty Gang were murdered and put into a mass grave. 1 member of the Kitty Gang is still missing. Jimmy Johnston, who called Bruce Sr. Dad, even though he was not his biological son, was the first to be murdered. According to a witness who testified for the state, Bruce Sr. shot Jimmy at close range after shining a flashlight in Jimmy's eyes. He would later joke that Jimmy was still gurgling when he pushed him into the grave. The second victim, Dwayne Lincoln, stood where Jimmy Johnston had. Bruce Sr. gave the signal by flickering his flashlight, and David Johnson fired 2 bullets into the back of his head. Gang member Ricky Mitchell agreed to take part in the murders in exchange for free car repairs. He murdered the 3rd Kitty Gang victim, Wayne Sampson. Mitchell was to shoot Sampson in the back of the head. but was blinded by Bruce Sr.'s flashlight and missed. When Sampson turned and asked if Mitchell had a real gun, Mitchell shot him twice in the face. Wayne's brother James Sampson was never found. It was revealed by a former gang member that he was killed in the same way, but dumped into a landfill. All of the boys in the Kitty Gang grew up without a father figure. The gang was once again untouchable. They had disposed of those they believed were betraying them. There was one very important element that they underestimated. Bruce Jr., though incarcerated, was about to become the bane of his father's existence. Bruce Sr. had taken things a step too far.